start. Okay. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ สวัสดีครับ As usual, there comes a third episode, our constructive parenting. And I think today should be an interesting episode. It is something parents experience. And sometimes you don't know it is a trap. You come to this trap, you become lock yourself in some situation when you dealing with your children. And I would like to back just a bit. Last time for the first two episodes, that the keyword is we have to create our time. That is most important whenever our children need. And we're supposed to listen to them deeply so we can know, we can understand, and we can find our way how to get proper approach to them. And at the end of the last episode, yeah, we leave about the what we're gonna share in the third episode is about the trap. Trap actually it is something most important. Trap is something like a barrier. You said you're supposed to get close to your children. You're supposed to deeply listen. But another factor that is most important, when you open your mind, and sometimes because of some reason, you try to listen deeply to them, but there are some thing called traps that is not allow you to get inside their heart. That is a trap. And again, I would refer to this book. Every parent, yeah, I pick up some part about the trap that is commonly happens in the family. And I will start with some question, with the two questions, so you can imagine what we are talking about. It is a big umbrella actually, but we like to make it close and we can share within the limited time. There are two questions. I think this is a very common question. The first one is, do you frequently feel uncomfortable, or sometimes you feel ashamed or embarrassed by your child behavior? That is the first one. And the second one, did this, as a parent, your partner, your husband, do you ever argue with your partner about how to handle your child behavior? Because sometimes when some problem in the family arising, not only mom, but dad supposed to sit together and try to react to your child behavior as a team. Otherwise, your child will feel confusing. What is the right way? What is the parent would like to teach them? Yes. Okay, this is an overview of what we are talking about the situation. So my first question, what is your understanding about the parent trap? Yeah, and then we will carry on the other issue might be arising along our conversation.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, I can say you can be trapped by your children. Why? Well, from many reasons. And one of the reasons is because you don't know your child 100%. You know, I mean, you think that you know, but you don't know. Yeah, it was happened to me few times before, because I was not aware of these things. But after, of course, that I know my son now, and I knew him also in that time, but I don't know. for example, what's happened when he had fever or something like that. Why? Because he didn't want to go to school, you know. And yeah, he trapped me because I was thinking that he's really sick. He was sick, I don't say no, but not so sick then to, you know, to cannot go to school in that day. And of course that I was worried. And I tell you why, because my son had some kind of problems, you know, when he was a little boy. Actually, I was with him 2 times in hospital because of fever, okay, and I was even to lost him, you know. And from that time I had that fear in me that if something happened, if he has fever, he can die or something like that. And my son, he knew these things. So in this way, he was playing with me, okay. He was new about my feelings. He was new about my fear. So yeah, he trapped me, you know. But now I can make the difference, you know, between trapping and between, you know, truth, because I know when he lie me, I know when he hide things from me, and I know when he's telling me the truth, okay. But to be honest, now he's not doing anymore these things. He did before. He saw that it's not working anyway. Why? Because of course in that day he remained home, he didn't go to school. And when he heard that he remained home and he's not going to school, everything was fine. You know, he was not sick anymore, he was playing. And I said, so you trapped me. Yeah, these things was happen. But it's true, he had little fever, but not so much, you know. So these things happen.
Yeah.
You need to know your child much better. You need to talk with your child. You need to spend time with him, you know. And also to not have fear about something. If something happened in past, doesn't mean that will happen also today. But of course, that things was with me. I mean, I had a problem with me, not with my son. Okay.
Yes, thank
So
you.
when
Yeah.
these things happened, not your child. It's not your child fault. Okay, it's your as a parent, because you have a problem with you, and he can play with you if he know how to play, because you know, children are very, very, very smart.
Yes, thank you.
Why they are doing like that? To get something in return. And what he get? Well, he got that he remained home. He didn't go to school in that day. Okay, he got freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this happened long times ago. Even we experienced by ourselves when uh, I was a child. I experienced this because sometimes without any reason, without any good reasons, I didn't like to go to school. I really don't
Yeah.
know. But when I woke up, when I was a little child, yeah, I woke up. I still lay down on bed and thinking about how to give good reason to my mom for today absence. I try to start with the something a small child can think about that. It's about the illness or fever. That should be the good reasons to convince my mom to allow me to stay home one day. Yeah. That
Yes.
is, I think every human being should pass this experience like me and ask why I didn't like go to school. And if you look deeper, you might get that surely you not get your homework done. And that is what
Yeah.
you are afraid of the being punished, got the punishment from some teacher. You feel fear. And that is very simple. But you are parents, you might think about this like a very little thing. But how about the small child? You don't have the homework for your um, teacher. That is a big deal for a little child. That is the things I experienced as a child when I say it is lie. I told a lie to my parents. Surely, but you know, my dad, my mom, my dad, they know what is hidden at my hidden what I kept in my mind. But finally, I always cannot finish my intention. Finally, okay, dad said, okay, you're supposed to go to the hospital because you said you got sick. But you know, another
Yeah.
fear, because you can experience, if you go to see doctor, that means you will be injected. And that is what you don't
Exactly.
like. You don't like surely. And finally, after a
Mhm.
few minutes negotiation, okay, I said, okay, I decided to go to school. And this is even a small thing. But if you think carefully, that is the starting of the something will be happen in the future. Sometimes when you graduate and you start your career, you always sometimes
Mhm.
have the same feeling. You did
Mhm.
like to
Mhm.
go to your office because of some reason, and you have start how to create a fake reason to call to the
Yeah.
HR, and sorry, today I cannot go to work because of this and that. It's the same thing but different time. So
Yeah,
I think it
exactly.
is very important because as a parents, how you manage this, because you have to find out, you have to figure out what is the reason. It is because of
Mhm.
your child, he uh, cannot finish their homework on time. So
Mhm.
we need to teach them more about how to allocate his time for their work, how to, what is the meaning of the discipline as a student, something like that. Not just only uh, finish negotiation and then okay talking about the other things. That is the opportunity. You can pick up that opportunity and you can bring about all the relating things to teach your children. What is the punctuality? What is the hardworking? What is the disciplinary? And everything that you can take this time for teaching and give your child the good lesson. So that is what positive thinking when you come across with something, even small. But if you
Mhm.
neglect or ignore this thing, it will be embedded in their brain. And one day, when they grow up, they will use this technique that is not good for their future. Yeah, that is
Yes,
what I would like to share my 40-year experience when I was young. Yes.
Mm, yeah, yes. Well, you know, in this situation, my opinion is that you need to talk freely, okay, with your child, and to ask him why you are doing like that. What's the reason behind? Tell me the truth, because nothing will be happen. Just I'm your mother, I'm your father, and I'm your friend. Okay, to not forget that we need to be also friends with our children, not only mom and father.
Mhm.
Okay, so you need to be very honest with your child and to take him and to talk kindly with him. So, okay, David, I understand you have fever today, but are you sure you have fever, or you have another reason why you want to remain home?
Mhm.
I'm your friend, I'm with you. No matter what you are doing, you are my son, okay? You are my child. So, and also I'm your friend. So tell me, you know the the truth, why you want to remain home, what's the
Mhm.
reason behind. So we need to talk with them very clearly and kindly, and they will tell us why. Maybe they don't like a teacher, maybe they don't like I don't know, a colleague or something like that. Maybe something happened in school for that they want to avoid to go to school, uh, because to remain home, of course, is a message behind. He don't want to go to school because of something or because of someone. Okay, so as I said, can be a teacher, because um, I don't know nowadays, but before, they had some kind, of technique to discipline you, which I'm not agree. So of course that child was afraid to go to school. And now, who knows? For that, we need to talk with them and to see what's the reason for what they want to stay home. And not to come and to show them attitude, okay? That, look, I'm your father, I'm your mother, you need to tell me the truth. Not like that. We need to talk friendly, kindly, and to listen their heart, okay? Because they also are, little human being in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very honest if we know how to talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course, my son didn't want to go to school, not because of the teacher. He didn't want to go to school because he wanted to stay home and to play video games. No. And at school, he didn't like because he had to study grammar, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, many times can happen there to be a teacher who come with attitude or with racism, okay?
Mm-hmm.
For example, maybe he or she can say you are Romanian and Romanian are like that, or you are black, or you are white, or with racism. So if we have a teacher who's racist in that school, there will be a problem. Will be a
Exactly.
problem for the teacher and for the child also. For that, we need to be very openly with our children.
Yes.
Yeah, and to see the reason.
Yeah. Yes. I think whenever we we talk with our kids or we are children, last time we mentioned about how can we make our children open their mind. That is most important.
Mhm.
And after they open their mind and they feel trust, that is most important in family uh, environment. If the family member feel trust each other, they can talk everything.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
Yes.
okay, they would like to hide something because whenever they step to mom and dad, they always got the shouting. And then sometimes this letter is not important. It is a very minor thing. Let's talk later. And then I think we are hurting and we lessen, we reduce self-confidence for them to get approach to their parents. That is
Mhm.
a very small thing for some people, but in my point of view, that is most important thing. When we're talking about trust, it is a
Yeah.
two-way. It's not only trust from children, but
Yeah.
parents supposed to trust children, children supposed to trust parents. That is a two-way
Exactly.
engagement. And truly,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people always uh, in doubt why we're talking about the trap. Actually, it's not small thing. It can be enlarged to the bigger problems when
Exactly.
you not try to manage and try to give their possible way. Whenever they cope with something, you're supposed to them to have the little experience when they're very young, and it is gradually. It cannot change abruptly when you found that, wow, when your children become to over 20, and sometimes misbehaviors is too late to cure. Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
whenever you got into a parent trap, you really did not know how to get out of it, because people from different family, and when they decided to spend their life together 24 hours, surely you're supposed to have some thing you think different. But when you are raising your child, that means you are doing another thing in common. So you have to get something consent, agree each other how to cope with your children. And
Mhm.
I saw that many family, they already are too much worry and too much concern about the thing that in my family thing is very little thing. By the other is too much concern. But I never I never criticize because people have different perception and different way of the coping with the problem, even it is exactly the same. That is why we always mention a couple of years ago when we come to the very key a keyword is zero criticism. We have no right
Yeah.
to criticism to criticize anyone because we
Yeah.
even sometimes ourselves cannot know the good reason why we make such a decision. So it's not fair, it's unfair to criticize the others
Mhm.
without know
Exactly.
100%. And actually, it is something impossible. And when the parents become stressful because of their children misbehavior, there are so many levels of the stress that many parents experience and make their raising of children more difficult. So my recommendation to our audience who are watching, whenever you experience or you have to cope with some problems you never experienced in the family, you're supposed to stay calm and try
Yeah.
to think carefully and figure out what is a possible scenario you can react with your children. No need to respond promptly because this is a very sensitive. You are building human being, and
Yeah.
if you do something and that is make them feel like a tumor and keep there something you not intention to react in their deep deep inside their mind, it is very hard to cure. So just think
Mm.
carefully, and then before they react, you have to think about the right time, and when it is in a very good environment for the family members sit together at the dinner time. Yeah, no need because you have quite a lot of time to stay and spend your life together in the family. It is lifetime engagement. Why you have to
Yes.
respond within a second? What for? What? No good reason. And so what I would like to challenge. Okay, if we come to this, I would like to mention um, a few the category of the trap. The first one is um, criticism trap.
Mhm.
Criticism trap. Yeah, it is sometimes the parents um, face this problem with their children because whenever your child misbehave and harm, like I mentioned, how we react.
Mhm.
What is the worst you're supposed to react to such misbehavior? For example, if David, they're going to do something you not agree. You said, okay, stop, stop doing that. That is my like a command. You forget
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. That's called reason. Before
Mhm.
you give command, stop. You're supposed to ask why, and you collect the reason. And if you know the
Mhm.
reason, you will know the proper words to talk with David, right? And then
Yeah.
you might, after that, you said stop, and then you also keep treating. You said, okay, if you do like that one more time, you will be in a big trouble. I will beat you, something like that. And you can see just a little boy, just a little child,
Yeah.
and you are adult. And what you think if you react promptly, just to stop that behavior for a while, and what is the adverse consequences of such improper criticism? That is another trap. And
Mm.
you said you have the good reason because you judge by your
Mhm.
experience. You are 40, you are 30, you are judging, you are just judge a very small child, just 7 years old. It's unfair.
Exactly.
It's unfair, Nelusa, because and you said because that is your hope. Hopefully, you would like to discipline him. No, that is your reason. You never open your mind and deeply listen to the what is the real reason why David behave like that. Maybe
Yeah, exactly.
if you were him and you are in the same situation, you might do like he did. Yeah.
Or maybe,
Uh,
or
yeah.
maybe more worse.
Yeah. And do you have any additional idea in case of the criticism trap?
uh, you know, many times it's happening, with parents like that. And after they are complaining that my child are hiding things from me, it's a trap. Yeah, of course. Because, for example, when if your child, I just give you an example. If your child wants to go somewhere, okay, to meet with his friends or something like that, and if you don't allow him and you say, no, 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 you stay home because you need to stay home, and your child wants to go, okay, he will stay, he will listen to you, he will not go to his friends, but when he will get the chance, he will go and he will lie to you, you will not find the things. And after you will hear from neighbors or from someone else, where was your child, your daughter or your son? I don't know. For example, with let's take the example with cigarette, okay, with smoking, with alcohol. Uh, Many children, they just want to try, okay, to try to see how is that, cigarette, how is that alcohol. And you as a parent, you tell them, no, you don't have the right to drink, you don't have the right to smoke, to not see you in my eyes, to not see you that you're smoking in front of me, never ever I want to see these things. So your child hear these things, okay, my mom, my father, they don't want to see me, okay, no problem, I will not smoke in front of them, but I will smoke behind. So what will happen? Your child will take the cigarette, will smoke with his friends or in another place, will drink alcohol, and you will not know. He will come home, he will be fine. Yeah, my son is fine. My son is not smoking. My son is not drinking. But after you hear from others, I saw your daughter or I saw your child smoking. And what will happen? Fighting that. From when you smoke? Why you didn't tell me? Because I'm your mother. Okay, really? Are you my mother? Well, if you was my mother, you supposed it to listen to me before, but you didn't, because you gave me order to not smoke in front of you. Even if I wanted to tell you, you didn't want to listen. And if I could to tell you, you could to beat me, because a lot of people are doing like that. A lot of parents, they are beating their children. I do not agree with these things. I do not agree, someone to hit his child. Never. Is an abuse. It's a physical abuse. So in this situation, if your child wants to smoke or want to drink, okay, you want to drink, you want to smoke, all right. Try in front of me. Why you need to go and to hide these things? And I'm sure he will not smoke after, because I saw in my case, my father and my mother never ever ordered me to not smoke or to not drink. And to be honest, I was not curious about these things. And I'm not smoking and I'm not drinking. Simple. And of course, my parents also, they are not smoking and not drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So for that I'm saying, uh, you as a parent, you are an example, and your child will take this example. Just sometimes I saw my mom and my father drinking some wine or something like that, but very rare, very rare. But not to be that kind of parents who are drinking always and smoking. And no, we are not. These things are not happening in my family, not in my family of my parents, and not here in my family with my husband, because we need to make the difference between families, okay? Families with husband and families
It's
with
frozen.
parents are totally different things here. So for that, I'm saying that it's much better to be very your child, open in everything. Can you hear me? Pipa?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, yes.
Yeah, okay. It's frozen a bit. It disconnected. Okay. Anyway, I can understand what you explained to me. Yeah, that is normal. Happens, but even it's normal. But sometimes parents got into the trap because they really don't know how to manage with this kind of this situation. Okay, when we be talking about the criticism trap, that means to make it short, when you see your children uh, show their misbehavior, we react. That is active. That is active reaction to their misbehavior. Even you like to discipline your children. But okay, another trap is extremely different. You keep quiet, no action. You just take it for granted. You ignore. It is so-called a while ago criticism trap. Now we come to another side. It is a leave them alone trap.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you please share whenever you select this way when you engage with your misbehavioral child, just say nothing instead of the criticize. You keep quiet. How you think about this situation and your experience?
Well, you know something to keep quiet. It's okay your child to to take his time. All right, to take his time, because let's be honest, we cannot, if your child is breaking the things now, or I don't know what he's doing, whatever, we cannot, he needs time. Okay, maybe 5 minutes, he needs time to, I give you the example with my son. He's angry, he don't want to talk to me, and I told him, you know something, David, 5 minutes in your room, 5 minutes in your room, and after we discuss. I'm quiet, okay, for 5 minutes. That means I let him to stay there 5 minutes, because he's angry, and in anger you don't have with who to talk. So for 5 minutes he's in his room, and after 5 minutes he's fine. Okay, David, so let's discuss now, what was the problem? Tell me what was the problem and how we can fix these things, you know. So to keep quiet for forever and to not talk to your child is not okay, is a trap, because your child will not know what you feel, what you want. Okay, let's think, it's like, just to sometimes it's happen with us also. And I saw so many people who are fighting, for example, with husband or with wife, and they are not talking for weeks, they're not talking for weeks. So if they are not talking for weeks with his wife or his husband or her husband, like that, they are doing with their children also. And it's not okay. It's not okay, because people need to know what you want, what you have. Okay, so you can let your child for 5 minutes, for 30 minutes, to, I don't know, to stay and relax, but after, take him and talk with him. And in this case will not be any trap. You will fix the problem behind, and you will find the reason what happened there and why. Simple. But if you keep quiet and you say, what was the problem, what was, no, nothing, so it's not okay.
Yeah, actually, by theory again, it is called the quiet time approach. That is another thing we're supposed to talk in detail about the how to treat your children by the quiet time approach. It is sometimes very useful to adapt to your family. I would like to say to our audiences, what we are talking is not It's not something right or wrong. It's something like our experience, direct experience, and sometimes
Exactly.
we connect with our peer, our friends experience, and we come and share each other. And even the criticism is trap, but leave them alone is trap. But I think the thing in this world is two sides, not one solution. It's the pros and cons. It is a duality because it depends on the situation. You cannot have only one action to misbehavior child. It depends on the situation. It depends on the many factors. Okay.
Yes.
In terms of the criticism, yeah, I think it should be practical. If we're talking about the bad side or misbehavior of your children, you're supposed to think carefully and leave them alone, trapped. Like you said, for some certain period of time, you're supposed to apply or adapt this approach, but just only a certain period of time, but cannot
Yeah,
forever.
but it's depend on your child also, because you cannot let all children alone. It depends,
Yes.
because other children, when are alone, they can do also something bad, okay, to hurt themselves. So it depend where you let them, how you let them.
Mm.
Anyway, you need to pay attention in this time. Doesn't mean that if I let alone David there, I'm not checking him. I'm checking him, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Yeah.
let him alone, because you cannot let him alone and to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's a child and he can hurt himself.
Yeah.
Who knows what he can do? No, you
Mm-hmm.
need to take care of this thing,
Mm-hmm.
to pay
Mm-hmm.
attention. Just let him time, okay? Let
Mm-hmm.
him time to relax, to calm himself, but
Yeah.
pay attention what he's doing there
Yeah.
alone.
Yes. And for example, Nelusa, about the criticism trap, I look at the positive side. In case of the good behavior your child express, you're supposed to criticize, not just keep quiet. Because that if your child doing something good, something right, you're supposed to criticize, you're supposed to admire, you're supposed to encourage. Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
because
Mm.
if your child behave a very good thing and you just take it for granted, you ignore. And what is the
Mm-hmm.
consequence? Because if so, your kids will not do that again. Because
Mm-hmm.
even they behave good, nobody interested in their doing, their deed. So I think it is depends, as we said, and it depends on what it depends on the individual situation in individual
Yeah,
family. It's not the like
exactly.
um, only you. It's not unique. It's
Exactly.
something a
Exactly.
variety. Yeah.
Mm.
And then okay, we step to the next. Yeah. It is another trap. Now we are talk about the four trap. Now we come to the third
Mm.
one. The first one is a criticism trap. The second is a leave them alone trap. And now it is
Mm.
very important, very very important. Is a cream of the today conversation. It is so called for the sake of the
Mm.
children trap. Again, for the sake of the children trapped. Because this situation happens because for some family, parents are in unhappy or they are high conflict relationships, and they
Mm-hmm.
still stay together in the family.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly.
the reason is they stay together for
Because of the child.
the sake of
Because
their
of the child.
children.
Yeah. Mm.
And they never think of find way out. Instead, learn how to get the way they can resolve their disagreement. He said that this assumption, uh, children, they might feel very confused if they stay with the parents who are not in unhappy environment. So um, you can see the children who stay in this environment, they show something unique, and we can guess they have something in their mind. And
Yeah.
if so, sometimes said that if you cannot develop your relationship, better to have your child stay with dad or mom. That much better. Yeah, because otherwise the conflict of the parent, this is cause something inconsistency that is make many behavioral problems. So as a small child, they cannot know what is the good or bad. Sometimes because you just uh, stay together because of your, that is the reason, just sake of your children. That is another trap. And many
Yeah.
family, if a parent decided to stay together in this unsolved situation, is have many adverse consequences to their children. Yeah. So I would like you to share about this.
Yeah, it's true. Well, unfortunately, in this situation, it's happened that, that child to feel guilty, they are feeling guilty because, because of me, my mom is not happy. Because of me, my father is not happy. Why? Because they are together because of me. They're not loving each other, but they are still
Exactly.
together because of me. So I'm a barrier for my parents. So it's a trap. Yeah, unfortunately. For that, parents needs to understand and to talk with each other and to see if they can fix that problem in their marriage. If you cannot understand anymore with your husband or with your wife, then it's okay. It's not any kind of problem. If you divorce, it's okay, but do not hurt your child. Okay, do not hurt your child. And so many times, parents are even telling them, I'm with your father because of you. Even they are telling these things. You
It's
can
not
believe
actually.
how much pain that child can have inside of him. A
Mhm.
lot.
It
A lot.
doesn't correlating reason at all, right? Because that is the
Can you
sake of
repeat?
the children, is not the good reason, because that means that that's very
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It's
It's not.
too easy to solve
Mm,
the life problems. You suppose, as I said, that both
yeah.
of them supposed to sit together and learn and find a way
Yeah.
out to resolve the disagreement, because that is a root cause of the problem. No need to
Yeah.
bear,
Exactly.
no need to stay together without any beautiful relationships. That is not
Mm,
constructive environment for your
exactly.
little children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with your idea, and that is a very beautiful answer for today
Yeah.
in for this trap. And we come to the last trap. Is
Okay. I have just 5 minutes because after I need to go to pick up my son from school.
okay. That is perfect. Sure, that is perfect
Okay.
as a mom. And
Mm,
coincidentally, it is the perfect parent trap. The
mm,
last one, yeah, because
okay.
this our desire, we decide to be perfect.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
okay, it is very positive. It's very constructive word, the perfect, about the perfect. And the many
mm,
problems happen in this world, not only the family, but any wider society. Yeah, it's come from this word It's a perfect or expectation, too much expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how about your idea for this trap, perfect parent trap? And please share more
Yeah, well,
about your the true experience.
yes, of course, everything I'm telling you from my true experience. But to be honest, I do not think I'm in this trap anymore. No, because I learned these things from my childhood. I mean, to want my child to be perfect, come on, he is perfect how he is. Okay, I'm perfect how I am. So if you know, parents expect from children a lot of things, like to be the best in the school. I'm not expecting these things. I do not want my child to be, I don't know how much perfect. He is perfect already because God created him perfect. But if he doesn't like something to do, then why should I say that no, you are not perfect? Or to give the example of another child. Look, your friend Mark, he knows to play football, or he knows to do these things, and he knows to do these things, and you don't know, and you don't know to do, and or you don't like literature, or you don't like grammar, but your friend he likes. Your friend is like that. No, it's not okay. It's not okay expecting your child to be perfect like others. Let's be honest, also others are not so perfect how you think. For that I'm saying he is already perfect in his way, okay, because he's unique, because you are unique, because I'm unique. So like that also that child is unique and is perfect already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need, parents needs to take out this expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
they expect too many things from the children.
Mm-hmm.
Too many things. To study well, to 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 behave well, to do it. They want to be like a marionette. So when you make your child like a marionette, that child is not anymore he is not himself anymore. The word of teacher team, go be you always. Then let your child to be him always. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your golden answer. Because whenever we talk about life is life. It's always like a come and to meet at the same point at the loop. Yeah. Because I remember you post a couple of days ago on the Facebook Live. You mentioned about the life is so simple and why we make it
Exactly. Yes.
complicated.
Mhm.
I think to be a perfectionist is not my way. I love to be someone who very down to earth, an ordinary man.
Mm.
Yeah, like you might notice what is my life going on there for a couple of years. I always uh, feel simple and stay simple, and then nothing perfect. It's never perfect. And if you can come to the perfection, and why we talking about the lifelong learning, unstoppably.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is a word we repeated in uh, several times because
Mhm.
we agree that nothing in this world is perfect. So there
Mhm.
we accept the truth, and then what we are doing now, and we are sharing there's something we deliver the message to the people who hopefully they would pick up some message from us, and that will
Yeah.
be beneficial to them to make something improve, but forget about the perfectionist. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that is okay. It is enough for today when we share about the trap, and then I would leave what we are
Well,
talking next fourth episode. My next challenge is this: how to improve the skill of your children. There are so many skills,
okay.
and how to advise your children to communicate with with a good communication skill in the social communication, communication skill, and how to, most important, I think you would share very beautiful their experience, how to manage emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Great.
very challenging idea, because even adult, sometimes you cannot manage very well your family because you cannot control your emotion. And
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
let's diverse as a parents how to give the guidance to your children to manage their emotion. And maybe on a 6 or 7 years so on, we will talking seriously about the how to help your children stand on their own legs in case of the facing something problems, and how to be a good problem solver. That is so many things we're supposed to share in the next episode. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Any last words?
Well, my last words. Thank you so much for inviting
Yeah.
me here.
ด้วยความยินดีครับ
And
ด้วยความยินดีครับ
doingความjijili. Doing yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. Enjoy your present moment and forget about expectation.
Zero,
Just live your
zero,
present
zero,
moment.
zero
Yeah.
expectation. Yeah.
Zero expectation. Yes.
Yes. And for my last words, Nelusa and I myself would share our message to you. It is very dangerous if you compare your children with others. You are hurting them.
Exactly.
Only one
Yeah.
reason is every child is unique. That's it.
Exactly.
โอเค ขอบคุณ
Thank you
ครั
so
บ
much.
สวัสดีครับ 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 สวัสดีครับ
Krum krab Sadika. Bye bye.
บ๊ายบาย Yes, that is all. That's about the trapped parents frequently face, as sometimes they don't know, even if it's simple, how to cope with such a trap. Sometimes they know it is a trap, but they are very dangerous if they don't know it is a trap. Then forget about the way they would think about to solve the trap, because they don't know that it's a trap. They cannot get out the trap. And I think today our conversation in the third episode will be more or less have the benefit to all of you. At least you know how to be aware of traps, parent traps, and how to avoid such a parent trap. See you next time in the fourth episode. We'll talking about there are many interesting things, and I think I love to get your comment and sharing your experience with us, and that would be very beautiful. Thank you very much, Pipat, speaking from Thailand. สวัสดีครับ